The Narbeck Wetlands Trail. Who knew there was a cave back there? That's cool.
That was awesome.
So I think we wanted to talk today about the intuitive heart versus the emotional heart, or just intuition in general, maybe some of those different things.
Yeah.
Some of the things we're talking about all the time. And I'm thinking we could tie that into manifesting pretty good too.
They go pretty well together.
Manifesting abundance. And what does that even mean? Yeah, that's kind of cool.
When you're not at balance, it's difficult to manifest anything.
Right. Come on, puppy. One thing I've noticed for me in the path I'm on or where I'm going, which is for the few, not for the many, I would say. But I notice with relationships in general, romantic relationships, everybody's looking for companionship, and we're wired to have companionship. We're not here to be alone,
right,
living in a cave our whole life or whatever. We're all interacting, and that's all the purposes and the things we do are to be with people. So it's not like to just carve out being alone in life. But for me, I've been through a few relationships, and they were mundane, and I look back on them now and with good intention. I just didn't know what I was doing, but I remember comparing what I've come to know now, which is why I'm choosing to be single for me, because I don't want to get involved with something that's going to be not what I aspire it to be, its fullest expression.
Well, and look at the phase of life you were in when you attracted that relationship.
Yeah.
And what was it about them that they connected to you at that same point in time?
They were probably attracted to my lack, because what I was doing without knowing it is getting involved with different women relationally, where I lacked something, and I wanted to get in their relationship with my emotional heart, which is...
You wanted to fix them.
And yeah, for sure wanted to fix them, which is super toxic when I look back now. And that's ego driven.
Yeah.
At 22. Who am I going to fix? I don't know anything at 22. But also, even whether you're consciously or subconsciously, a lot of people's relationship advice today is, what are you going to do to meet my needs?
Yeah.
And that can be really good advice at that level. But if that's all you aspire to do, then you're just dealing with that arena, and that's okay.
Well, it also comes from a place of being incomplete and needing another person to complete you, instead of finding that coming from a place of self-love.
Yeah.
And acceptance of yourself, to where you complement another person and have great value that you bring into their life, but they too are a complete person. And I think that two independent, complete people who are experiencing self-love for themselves are truly the only ones that can give that unselfish love to another human being.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. This is a cool place. Check this out. This sanctuary is just chock full of wildlife. Yeah, so your analogy back to the dragonfly thing we did?
The parable of the dragonfly.
On the second episode, yeah, there's where the water nymphs all live.
It's been an interesting experience in life. There's been 3 people that I've felt specifically that analogy really fits.
The nymph to the dragonfly thing,
The
yeah.
nymph to the dragonfly evolution.
Go back and watch episode 2, I think. Talk about that one.
I've seen one person break that surface tension, and her eyes are open, and it's such a beautiful thing to see. It's such a rewarding experience to be a part of their life and to be a source of encouragement.
You told me who this was last week, right? Yeah. Okay, the tension thing is interesting, because you see, it's like if you're existing down in the murky water, and that's what's familiar and it's great, that's all you know. But when you want to break through, it is a tension thing. It's like the surface is something to be broken through.
Yeah.
You don't just go through easily.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable to
Change
make that
always
transition,
is.
right? Shall we continue?
Yeah.
The nature part of these things is fun to capture.
Yeah. Different views for different seasons.
Maybe I'll come down here like once every quarter and check this out. Different nature.
So what was the main topic again? That's to you.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So there's a little bit of the emotional heart is that you're feeling a void and you're wanting your needs met and all that. And it's so funny that that's what a lot of advice, professional advice, steers you that way. Like relationship advice is like, make sure your needs are met and all that. But
and self-care.
Yeah, okay, which is
self-care.
healthy, sure.
Yes.
Okay, let's take it to the next level. Just set all that aside. So in the higher dimensions, to use an analogy, I guess, higher frequencies, building yourself on self-love, building yourself up, developing self-worth, which is a ton of things to do. That's not, you don't just do it. It's a journey, and it can take years and, you know, a long time possibly. But like you were saying, two people that have developed enough self-love and self-worth come together, and they're not in need, they're not needy,
Right.
they're not in lack. So then what do you do when you meet that person?
Create magic.
Okay, exactly. How about that couple? You create magic, which is a process still for two coming together.
Yeah.
So that's still a process.
It's not without its challenges.
It still will have
doesn't
its
mean it's easy.
Yeah, because especially when you're independent,
Yeah.
you don't need anybody to help you. So you've got to adjust to like who's cooking dinner, what things are we gonna go do together, how much independence do we get, the mechanisms. Do you have separate rooms? Do you share a bed? I mean, all these
And
things.
how healthy is your ego to be with someone? Actually, for me, it's more rewarding to be with someone that wants me, not needs me.
Thank you. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the ding, ding, ding. It just made me think of this. So back to the intuitive heart is interesting. You get the tap, tap, tap on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And like I've experienced a lot, I know you have too, when you realize that that's your intuition telling you to do something, anything, think a certain way, go a direction, interact with somebody, you know, any kind of thing. I've been guilty of, should we go that way? I don't know where we're going.
Just wandering.
That's
get
probably the main
lost.
trail, whatever, yeah. This is what we're doing. Intuition said go this way. Let's go this way instead of the main road. This is perfect
The road
analogy.
less traveled.
Yes, okay, so let's see what's up this dark trail. Perfect analogy. We're going through the darkness, trusting without any idea that we've got a plan. And when we get to the other side of this, something full of light and glory is gonna be there we're gonna discover. That's what our intuition tells us to do. We don't
That
know
also
where.
sounds like manifesting.
Okay, it is manifesting, right?
Because
So
you could have said there's something dark and negative on the other side that might be a little bit spooky, but instead you said there's a bright light and something positive.
and I know
You're already
this.
wired that way.
I'm wired. I've trained myself now. This is how I roll. So now I know at some point down this path, we're going to discover something that's going to be great that we wouldn't have discovered if we'd gone the other way. The main road with all the sheeple. Let's just keep going down that and not think. So I don't know. This is crazy. What do you think, Luna? You know, one cool thing about coming down here today is yesterday, it's a sunny week, so I wanted to capture a couple videos while it's sunny. And I was literally going to come to this today anyway. And then you hit me up, hey, let's go for a nature walk. Not a hike in the mountains or
No,
anything.
nope.
I'm like, that's what I'm doing tomorrow, so let's just do that. That's manifesting synchronicities. I'm finding that the synchronicities happen more and more. It's just a validation that I'm in a receiving mode all the time, and the synchronicities just keep landing because I'm not trying to get gems away from my conscious brain. I've really got my brain out of the way. I'm just receiving in a heart space. For me, comparatively, like with full 100%, my heart's leading my life now, and it probably will continue to develop anyway. But just comparing to how I used to live, it's like it's opposite extremes, opposite ends of the scale.
Going without expectations, and we were talking about that earlier, of that narrow mindset and view and idea of what your goal is,
Okay.
and feeling that subtle tap that says maybe that's not the way to go, maybe you should look over here. And when you look over in the other direction, it's broad, it's vague, it's uncertain,
Yeah.
which is all very scary and intimidating
And exciting.
at the same time.
A little bit of an amusement park ride.
Yeah. And then that kind of, I don't know, just from personal experience, I've looked back at those crossroads where I've had to choose, do I want to go after what I think I'm supposed to be doing, or should I trust this intuition? And had I not trusted the intuition and pursued what I thought I wanted, I would not have been in a position to receive what was actually there for me.
And then you received it.
Yeah.
And it's like a gift from heaven then.
Yeah.
Just bestowed upon you.
And sometimes what seems like such a curse in the midst of it turns into the biggest blessing, because you realize, had I gotten what I wanted, I wouldn't be where I am today.
And the most you would have ever got, best potential, was what you wanted. If you had
Yes.
succeeded. And half the time we don't even succeed at that stuff anyway. You
Yeah.
get a percentage of it, if any of it. Wow, this is cool. It's like we just walked into another another dimension in these trees. It wasn't like this like 2 minutes ago.
Oh.
This is great. Dirty dog You're not going home with a clean car after this.
No. Sometimes you look at that path ahead and you got a dark stretch and then you got a hill to climb.
That's a good way to look at it.
You can go
That's
back
exactly.
the way you came from.
But there's the light. It's on the other side, I know.
Yeah.
This is actually when I share that analogy with people, this is what I see all the time. Is I always see dark woods for some reason. That's crazy that we're walking here right now.
You made a statement. You actually shouted it from a top of a rock by a lake that everything you want is on the other side of fear.
I did shout that.
Yeah. Been emotional.
Okay, so what's the stone you gave me this morning, which is crazy? Here's some synchronicity.
So this is Unikite. I looked at my little collection and felt like this was the one to bring today and refresh my memory on what properties it has. And Unikite is known for balancing the intuitive and the emotional bodies. And it also produces a subtle release of energetic blocks. Just subtle.
Wow.
Which can really be helpful for someone who's already pretty well in alignment, just to keep those channels open.
Thanks, that's awesome. And I didn't tell you what we were going to talk about today. I didn't even know what we were going to talk about till we got together. That's cool. So the intuitive heart, to kind of round things out, I would say relationally is from that heart space. Now you're relatively complete. You're not in lack. So what are you doing with your heart then? And for me, what I've come to experience, which is still something I get in return, is the gift of giving and the gift of loving. It unconditionally in a variety of ways, and a number of different people I do it with, and sometimes the opportunities just present themselves, and it's an opportunity to just give love and to help and share or whatever is more rewarding for me than receiving these things from other people. So in a relational thing, which you guys have this in your own way, is you guys aren't trying to like fill voids or meet your needs per se. You're giving and complimenting each other, and it's pretty interesting to watch.
And it's that energy freely given, freely received, that just becomes this beautiful circuit to where I can reach out and touch his shoulder and feel that beautiful connection of the energy that I've already put out there, and it comes back to me tenfold. Yesterday was actually his birthday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And last week was my birthday. We're 1 week apart. And we didn't get to do much last week for my birthday just because of schedule and timing and everything. And he was saying something to that effect, I'm really sorry that we didn't do more for your birthday. You did all these wonderful things for me. And I'm thinking, I'm so glad you didn't, because then I would feel like I needed
to reciprocate.
Yeah. It's easier for me to give than receive, which, not that I don't like gifts, I'm sure we all do.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not the point, not the purpose, and not why we do things.
It is nice to receive a gift when it's unsolicited too, I have to say, but I find it more rewarding to give, honestly, the blessings. When I see someone's eyes light up or they receive it, that's the reward for me back. It's pretty great.
And it was just the experience of being in this place and listening to this music, and that was enough.
Nice. Okay, here's something to come across. Talk about creating magic. I don't know what genetics that is, but magic mushrooms are sure magic. Were we talking about manifesting magic a minute ago? Okay, yeah, so we've stumbled into the magic mushroom patch. Don't know what genetics those are. They could be poisonous. Look at these have capped out. That is so cool looking. I love that. What do you think? You gonna have some chomp of that? Okay, we just legitimately hit, for sure, magic mushroom. 'Cause that, I know, is Amanita muscaria. This is like the rabbit hole for Alice in Wonderland. Look at that thing. I'm not gonna pick it. It's another Amanita muscaria.